Hello, good morning, guys. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Gonna give you guys just a few moments to see if anybody is going to join us this morning. Have a really important topic I want to talk about today, and so wanted to give you just a few more minutes to jump on. But while we're doing that, let me go ahead and introduce myself and share with you guys. Can you guys see me okay? For some reason, my camera is not acting right today. Let me see. All right, I think that's better. Hold on. There we go. All right, much better, much better. You can see me. I want you to see my very pretty color, my dress, my purple dress, my favorite dress. But while we're waiting for the audience to join us, let me introduce myself. Good morning again. My name is Mernice Oliver. My clients affectionately know me as Coach Mo, Queen Quiet Storm. I am the calm to your business chaos. I help agency owners, producers, and women entrepreneurs create revenue opportunities out of their specific business chaos. So we create a strategic plan to help them with their productivity, efficiency training. We do some strategic planning, business development, staff training, and organizational development. And so this morning, I want to talk to you guys about a very important topic I think we tend to overlook as agency owners and business owners, and that is the standard operations guide, or your operations manual, and why it's so important. And let me explain to you what an operations manual is. Really is, it's just a document that documents all of the major functions that's going on, that's operating and opening your insurance agency or your business. The operations manual is really kind of a job aid in helping you to maintain your products and service standards, as well as create overall uniformity for your agency. It helps to minimize those pesky complaint calls to the corporate office if you're a captive agent, or even if you are an independent, keep those complaints down from your host company as well. It helps you to form a basic systematic approach to training your staff, and it also becomes a source of reference for your agency staff throughout the time that they're employed with your agency or with your business. It's also a great tool to be used to evaluate your lead staff or your operations managers, if you have those in your office, or your supervisors or your team leads. But here is a biggie. And so I want you to pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you. The biggest part of it, it helps you to eliminate the errors and omission exposure due to improper processes and procedures. I can't tell you how important, I can't stress that enough, how important that is, that you don't want to have an E&O claim against you because you had improper processes and procedures, or because you didn't have properly documented processes and procedures. So that's very important as you're moving ahead. Some things that you want to think about as you are creating your own operations manual. Number one, is it going to determine how you're going to host it, or how it's going to be used in your office? Is it going to be virtual, meaning a paperless copy, which I recommend highly because it's readily easy to be shared on your shared drive, or you can do it on a Dropbox, you can do it on a Google Drive. But it's easily to be updated and revised as process and procedures change. It'll be able to tell you who made those changes because you can document it that way. But also it saves the earth, of course. We're trying to be paperless, and so it saves us that paper sitting in the office. So that's number one. Secondly, you want to make sure that everybody has a copy. So it's part of the normal training process when you hire a staff to come on board, that they already get a copy, or they know how to access your operations and procedures manual. So some things that you want to consider to include in your operations manual, and this is in no particular order, but there are some things that I want you to think, and it's not an entirely inclusive list, but there are some top, I would say about 10 or 15 things that I really want you to consider to include as you are creating your own operations manual for your agency. So number one, you want to make sure that there's an introduction. There's a history of your host company, if you're a captive agent, or if you're not, you're an independent, but also of some of the companies that you represent. But also, what's the history of your company? What is your why? How and why did you start this agency? What is your mission statement? What is your vision statement? So you want to have all those things in your operations manual. Secondly, what are your specific company policies? You know, what is your required dress attire, work attendance, office hours, behavior, how to handle the phone calls? All of those things need to be inside of your operations manual. Number two, what are your business practices? What are your standards and your procedures and documentations for hiring and training of your staff? What is your personnel administrative? What is the process if someone needs to be put on probation, or how if someone needs to be counseled for not maintaining the standard in the office, or maybe they're not performing and meeting monthly goals? Then how are those employees going to be handled? So those things need to be documented. You need to have a very outlined description of job descriptions. Who has what specific responsibility in the office? Who orders supplies? What supplies are being ordered? Any services that are being provided from outside of the agency, you want to make all of the employees inside of the agency aware of that. Any type of special operating equipment, if you have a fax machine. And I know this sounds so simplistic, but it's so very important that you leave no stone unturned. Everything needs to be documented. Your scanning machine, your copier, whatever is down to the coffee pot. How does it need to be operated? How do you arm the alarm every day? All of those things need to be there. Cleanliness of the office. What happens when something needs to be repaired? What things need to be regularly maintained and need to be made aware if they're not operating properly? What are some pre-opening procedures? What needs to happen in the office or the agency prior to opening? And then upon opening, what are some opening tasks? And then what are some closing tasks that needs to be handled and acknowledged on a daily basis? What are the specific forms that you use in your office? What are record keeping forms, and how are your processes and procedures being documented? How often are you updating your operations manual? All of that should be inside of the operations manual and formally documented. Are there any type of bookkeeping or accounting systems that need to be updated as well? That has to be in the manual. Your advertising and annual promotions that you're using for marketing in your agency, all of that must be outlined. And finally, two more that I think are very important is safety and security. So what happens when there's a problem in the office? How does someone report safety concerns and security issues, and what needs to happen? And then what are your daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual reports look like? Who are those reports being sent to? How are they reviewed, and what type of feedback is being offered on these reports? So just all of those things need to be part of your operations manual. Hey, you do not want to be that agent that receives that phone call that you've gotten an E&O complaint or a claim simply because you did not have the proper processes in place to run your agency and it wasn't documented. So if you need help with that, feel free to reach out to me. My name is Mernice Oliver. As always, I'm here to help you create all of those revenue opportunities out of the chaos that you have. And believe me, it certainly can be chaotic if you do not have your own operations and procedures manual in place for running your office. So thank you for joining me today for our chaos tip of the day. I hope this really helps you, and I hope you will take this into some very serious consideration. And you know how I roll. If you like this video and you like what you heard, click like on this video or leave me a comment in the box below. Or if you know another agent or a producer or an entrepreneur that needs help creating their own operations manual, feel free to, just share this video with them or have them reach out to me directly. A couple of ways that you can find me, or you can send me an email, obviously at mernice@merniceoliver.com, or you can leave me a message right here on my page at Coach Mernice Oliver. I'm on LinkedIn as Mernice Oliver, or you can tweet me at Coach Mernice Oliver. And as always, you can visit my website at www.merniceoliver.com. So until tomorrow, I'm Coach Mo, Queen Quiet Storm, here to help you bring calm to all of your business chaos. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.